everybody. Hi, and welcome to this very special webinar, Getting Started with the Family Zone Box. I'll just give everyone a few seconds to join. Alrighty, I think we should get going. So welcome everybody. As I said, this is the Getting Started with the Family Zone Box. My name is Jessica and I'm from Family Zone. And tonight I'm so lucky to be hosting this webinar with cyber expert and the founder of the Cyber Safety Tech Mum, Nicole. How are you? Nice to see you.
Hi Jess, thanks for having me tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us, Nic. Like I said, it's so great to have you here tonight. Tonight, Nic and I are going to be covering Getting Started with the Family Zone Box. Now, Nic, the box is something I get asked about all the time in my webinars. As us parents, we just really want to know how to manage those gaming consoles and smart TVs, don't we? Our kids are so mad crazy for them, and sometimes it can be really difficult to get them off them, isn't it? So I'm really thrilled to have a pro like you, Nic, with me tonight to help me go over the basics of setting it up and getting us all started. So before we get too stuck into it, just a few little housekeeping. So we should have time for a few questions at the end. But at any point, if you do have questions, feel free to type them into the questions box there on your screen, and hopefully we'll get to them at the end. But don't fear, if we don't have time to get to all your questions, someone from the support team at Family Zone will get back to you. But before I get too far stuck into it, I better just introduce myself in case you haven't been to one of my webinars before. My name is Jessica, and as you can see from that screen, I'm a married mum of 2 kids as well, just like you guys. I've been at Family Zone since 2017 now, so quite a few years. But before I joined Family Zone, I was in the criminal justice industry for over 15 years, and 10 of those years were with the Western Australian Police. And it was my time with the police that really started my passion for cyber safety, as I really was at the forefront dealing with some of the issues. And as it says there, that's when I really knew that I wanted to be part of the solution. I had kids of my own, and they were already like grabbing at my devices, and I knew that I wanted to protect them. And I love just being part of this, helping other parents just like you and me, Nic, making sure our kids are safe online. So I'm thrilled to be here and helping you get your kids protected as well. But I'm also super thrilled to be joined by Nic. Now, one of the beauties of Family Zone is our relationship with cyber experts, hey Nic, because as we know, cyber safety is not just about the technology, it's about educating ourselves and keeping informed on the trends and themes relating to cyber safety. Family Zone has cyber experts ranging in lots of different backgrounds, like we have some psychologists and police officers, and then we have IT professionals like you, Nic. So it's fantastic because I certainly am no IT professional. So it's really nice to be joined by Nic tonight to help us with this one. Nic has 22 years background in IT, which should really help us tonight, hey? But Nic, you founded the Cyber Safety Tech Mum business when your daughter started using your laptop, yeah? And Nic, you've told me before about your concerns with seeing what she was seeing online. Now, Nic, you've got 3 daughters now, and really using your IT background to help all of us parents create a safer online environment for our children. So it's just my pleasure to welcome you tonight. Thank you so much for helping us tonight, Nic. Welcome.
Thank you, Jess. It's my pleasure.
Great, great. Thank you so much. So let's get stuck into this agenda, hey? So really, before we get set into setting up that Family Zone box, I'll just cover a bit of a high-level background on what Family Zone is, and then I'll, really talk about the challenges that we face these days as parents. It's really different from when we were little, hey, Nic? So we really want to paint the picture of why this is so important to get your home really cyber safe. Then I'll hand over to Nic, who is going to walk us through setting up the Family Zone box. Now, Nic will show us how to, plug in the box, how to set up the safe networks and the Wi-Fi's, and then she'll show us how to add our children's devices to that safe network. And then then you'll hand back to me, Nic, hey, and I'll just help you in case anyone who doesn't have a Family Zone account. I'll show you how you can really get started there as well. And then, like I said, hopefully we'll have time for a couple of questions. And of course, I would never leave you without some resources and some direction for extra help in case you need it. So like I said, before we get stuck into setting up that Family Zone box, I thought I'd better give a bit of a high-level explanation on what exactly Family Zone is. In case you are super brand new to Family Zone, Family Zone is a parental control. It's a cyber safety solution designed to keep your kids safe online, no matter what device they're using or what source of internet they're connected to. And we like to wrap it all up into nice, easy to digest reports for us parents so that we can keep on top of what our kids are doing online. Now, some of the favourite features and tools you can see on your screen now. Obviously, we help you manage your children's screen time, and that is such a blessing, isn't it? It is such a hard thing for us parents these days, is getting our children off those devices and maybe outside in the fresh air. We also help you by filtering that internet content so that your kids aren't seeing anything inappropriate. And we also help you manage things like those gaming devices and how much time they're spending on social media. Now, tonight, we're going to be talking about the Family Zone box. So I get asked about the Family Zone box all the time, Nic, because a lot of my webinars are about the Family Zone app, which is what you put onto your kids' devices, the phones and the tablets. But I often get asked, how do we protect things like gaming devices, consoles and PlayStations and smart TVs, those sorts of things that are so popular with our kids, aren't they? So that's why we thought we would do this webinar tonight and explain the Family Zone box and show you the very basics on how to set it up. So as you can see from the screen, high level, obviously Nic's going to go into it a lot in a lot more detail and probably a lot better than what I can do. But as you can see from this screen, this is how we can protect those smart TVs and gaming consoles that your kids are all connected to. It creates a safe network for kids and another network for parents and another network for guests. And that's one of the things that Nic will show us how to do tonight. So one of the things I love about the box is how it allows you to set up those different Wi-Fi's. So you've got one for the kids, which is obviously filtered, but then it gives us another Wi-Fi for us parents to connect to. And of course, that's not filtered and it's not judging how much Netflix I'm watching. So before I hand over to Nic, I just really wanted to paint the picture of why it's so important that we're here. I think it's fantastic that you all joined today. So you obviously are looking to create that cyber safe home, and you've probably seen some of these stats before, so you know that it's really important to be here. I mean, on the left-hand side there regarding screen time, I always like to start with screen time because it's a major issue these days, isn't it, Nic? Parents are screaming out for a way to help manage their kids' screen time, but are often lost on how to do that. So we're so glad to be able to be here today to help you. You can see there, Fortnite tweeted in April that players spent 3.2 billion hours playing Fortnite. Nic, I remember seeing that tweet, and the first thing I noticed was how happy they seemed to be about it. They were like, woohoo, people spent this much time playing Fortnite. And it just made me really think, like, this is their business. It's their business to keep our children connected to it. That's how they make money. But obviously we know that it has real roll-on effects, doesn't it? And the next one, talking about gaming addiction, that can be one of the more serious roll-on effects. That stat there was from the University of Sydney, releasing that they found 10% of gamers were showing signs of addiction. Now, that's just so concerning, isn't it? Because when you think about it, that's 1 in 10, yeah? That is just huge. And then, of course, we are all pretty familiar with the issues that technology causes on sleep for our children. 3 out of 4 teens are not getting enough sleep. And we know as adults, we know how important that is for brain development and growth. But often our kids, you know, they're just little kids and they may not have the willpower to know to do the right thing, to switch off and get enough sleep. So as parents, it really is our job to guide them. And with something like Family Zone, we can help you do that. And of course, pornography, it is just so concerning these days. We find a lot of kids are exposed to pornography from such a young age, not because they're actively searching for it, but simply because it's just so readily available these days. Not like when we were kids, Nick, like if kids back in our day wanted to see pornography, they had to really try hard to see it. But these days, the internet is just flooded with it. So it is really important that you have a parental control in place just to filter out some of those nasties from our precious children. Now, if you would like to know more about these sorts of challenges, Family Zone do a fantastic blog. And I know that there's a great blog up at the moment called Worried About Your Children's Gaming. So go and check that one out. Subscribing to our blog is a fantastic way to keep on top of all the trends and themes within cyber safety. But without further ado, I think it is a great time to hand over to you, Nick, and let's get started in helping these parents set up their Family Zone box. So thank you so much for joining us, Nick. I'm going to hand over to you now.
I'm really excited to be able to get people started with their Family Zone box tonight. So first of all, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my slides here. Okay. Excellent. Okay. To start off with, we're going to do a little bit of literal housework first. So your Family Zone box is going to plug into your existing modem. So you need to make sure that you've got enough room next to your modem as well as a power point. Okay. Then you need to sign into your Family Zone dashboard or portal. And to do that, you're going to use the email address and password that you used to create your Family Zone account. Once you've signed in, you'll go to settings on the side and down to home network. And on the right there, you'll see already have a box. That's the one we need to click. Family Zone are fabulous in stepping us through every step of the process it takes to get this box plugged in. But I'm going to take it one step at a time tonight. The first step is identifying the 3 items in the box that you received. So the first one there is your Family Zone box. In real life, in the flesh, this is the Family Zone box. It's not too big. Then you'll see your power cable. My other end is plugged in. And then we have the third item, which is our Ethernet cable. And we're simply going to call it the blue cable. So they're the 3 items you should have in your box. Now, before we go plugging anything in, it's really important to copy down a special ID number inside your box. This is the FZ box ID, and it's probably difficult to see, but it's just inside the back of your box there. And you can either take a photo or write it down because we'll need to pop it in shortly. Step number 3 is connecting the Family Zone box to your existing modem. Now, I've just got a little picture of my modem there so that you can see there are lots of yellow holes. That's where we're going to plug it in. So first of all, we'll take our blue cable and pop it into the blue port at the back of your Family Zone box. There we go, plugged in nice and tight. And then at the back of your modem, I'm going to select the first open port or hole because I like to keep things neat and simple. And once I've got that plugged in, some little lights will start to come up on the back of my modem. Push that in nice and hard there. Oh, oh, there we go. Sorry, my fingers just didn't quite fit there. There we go. Okay. So the next step you'll see on your screen is simply making sure you get some power to your family zone box. So I've already plugged in the other end, and now I'm going to take the power cable and pop it just into the top of the box there. And then right above that, you'll see is a little black button, and that turns my box on. Beautiful. And now I have a blue light at the front, and my other lights will start to come on shortly. You'll have to excuse me for a minute here. I've got my boxes a little bit tangled up to the side here while I was showing you. Right, we should be all good now. Okay, so now you need to locate the photo you took of that number or that you wrote down. So pop into the first box, just start typing that number in, and it will automatically take you from box to box until you have the number completed. Then we name our box. In the example here says living room box. Well, I call mine office desk box because that's where it is. So just pop in the location of your box and hit next. As Jess mentioned, there are 3 different Wi-Fi networks. And the first one is the family network. This is the safe filtered network that you're going to connect your children's devices to. So to start off with, you'll put in a name for the network. You'll see I have Embra Family Network FZ. That identifies it to me as the safe one. But I would like to point out that when your neighbours connect to Wi-Fi, they see other Wi-Fi networks. So if you have personal information such as your last name that you don't want them to see, then please name it something like Family Network. Then you need to pop in a password. So for the password, it needs to be 8 numbers or letters. And this password is something that you can share with the whole family. And the reason why is because it's the safe network, and it is the only network that your children's devices will connect to. So it's perfectly okay for them to have the password for this one. The next network we're setting up is the guest Wi-Fi network. So exactly the same process, name it, make sure it's got the word guest in it so you can identify it. We create a password that we don't give to our kids. So this is the network we're going to connect our guests to. So if someone comes to our home to visit and needs our Wi-Fi network, then we'll connect them to this one. It's still a safe network, but it doesn't have access to existing devices on the network or the printer. And the third network is exactly how it sounds. It's the unfiltered Wi-Fi network. And this is the network for parents. So you'll set it up with a password that the children can't guess. Make sure it's not the dog's name because this network is not filtered at all, okay? It's for the parents only. It doesn't get monitored or reported on. So like Jess said, you can watch as much Netflix as you like and you will not be judged. So now that you've set up your 3 networks, I'm going to take you through the process of connecting one of your kids' devices to the safe network. So excuse me for a minute while I bring up my Family Zone portal. Hopefully you can see that there all right. Okay, so what you can see, I've gone into settings and then into devices, and it's brought up all of the devices in my home that are connected to my Family Zone box. You'll see a few there. I have 3 kids and a husband. But what you need to know is that the number of devices you can connect to your Family Zone box is unlimited. So you can connect all of the kids' laptops, their tablets, their phones, their smart TVs, the gaming consoles, whatever your heart desires, as many as you want, you can connect to the box. So just as an example, my phone isn't there, so I'm going to connect my phone to the safe network. So just give me a minute to pop in the password there. Would help if I spelt it correctly. Here we go. And we'll connect that there. Okay, so it's just connecting now. And I'll refresh my screen so that we can see it come up in the portal. And down here, you'll see it says unknown device. That is the device I've just connected. Now my phone is a Samsung, so I've hit edit here, and we're going to call it Mum's Samsung so that we know whose it is. I do happen to have an Android, and now I'm going to assign it to someone in our family. I'm going to assign it to one of my girls because that's one of the profiles I have set up. So I'll hit save there. And now we've just connected a device to the profile for Keely, and I'll just pop on that there. And if I hit devices, you can see Mum Samsung is now connected to Keely's profile. So it will pick up any of the settings that Keely has, and it's on the safe network. Okay. So the last piece of information I'd like to share with you is about your existing modem, and it's a really important piece of information. Previous to setting up your family zone box, your children's devices will have been connecting to your family modem. So that might be an Optus or Telstra one. What we need to do is change the password for that modem. And that means that your children will not be able to accidentally connect to what is now an unprotected network. So we need to go in and create a password that the kids don't know. To do that, it's all a little bit different depending on your internet service provider and the modem that you have. But generally, you can pop into Google and type Optus modem change password, and it will give you a special IP address. And this is a set of numbers with some dots between them that you type into your internet browser. And that will take you to a login screen where you'll type in a generic username and password as provided by Optus in Google. And once you're logged in, you can see where you can change the password to connect to that network. So go in and change that password. And then if you'd like to connect your parent device to that network still, you'll need to reconnect your device. Okay, so now we've plugged in your modem and we've plugged in your family zone box, and we've set up your networks, and we've added a device. I'm now going to hand back to Jess.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Nic. I feel really confident that I could go home now and perhaps with this video on at the same time, follow your instructions and get that done. So I'm going to share my screen again because what we went through tonight was presuming that you already have a Family Zone account. So if you're joining us brand new and you don't have a Family Zone account yet and you don't have a Family Zone box yet, you certainly can do that. Now, if you write down anything tonight, perhaps just write down this web address here, because that will take you to Nic's special 10% off discount. So from joining tonight's webinar, you're entitled to 10% off any Family Zone subscriptions because of the Cyber Safety Tech Month. So thanks so much for that, Nic. And as you can see, we have a few different accounts, different subscription accounts that you can choose from. but the one on the right-hand side here, the Safe Family Bundle, that's the one that includes the Family Zone box. So that will give you everything that you need to get started to cover all your kids' devices. It will give you the Family Zone app to put onto any of their smartphones or tablets or laptops, but it'll also give you the box as well, and you'll be able to set up your home just as we did today. So yeah, if you write down that web address, and then when you're ready, you can go to that address, and this is what you will see. It'll take you to the Cyber Safety Tech Mums page where you can get a discount. So if you click on this one here, it will take you to our different subscriptions, and you'll be able to get the discounts. Now, at the moment, we also have a 20% off, so it's a great time to get that discount. But if you just click on the Get Started, it will walk you through creating your Family Zone account, and it will also do things like ask you for your address to send the Family Zone box to you. So perhaps you might want to set up your account, organize your box to be sent, and then come back and watch this video again. So what I'm going to do now is just talk about, just to recap, the three main things that we really want you to have taken from today. So we really wanted you to have a better understanding of why this is all so important, some of the challenges that we face as parents in the cyber age, and why it's an absolute necessity to protect our children online. Then we also wanted you to get across the basics of getting started with the Family Zone box, and thank you so much, Nic. I think you did a fabulous job, and we've all got our head around that. And the beauty of this is it is recorded, so we can watch it all again and pause and watch again until we get it. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with some resources and help. So I'm going to leave this screen up while we take a couple of questions. Now, Nic, are you happy if I take a few questions? I just can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Sure can.
Excellent.
Awesome. Alrighty, I think we've got a few questions coming in. Oh, this is a great question. I do get asked this one a lot. Will the Family Zone box slow down my internet, Nic?
Yes, a very popular question. Fortunately, the answer is no, Jess. The Family Zone box does plug into your existing modem, and the information or the content just filters straight through it. Nothing will slow it down.
Fantastic, fantastic. It is a common excuse that I hear from children as to why they don't want a parental control, that it'll slow the internet down. But as we've heard from our cyber expert here, that is untrue. It will not slow down your internet. Another really good question, I get asked this one as well. Do I have to set up all three of the safe networks, Nic?
Okay. You do need to set up the first one, the safe filtered network, because that is the one that you're going to connect your children's devices to. Now, you don't have to set up the guest or the unfiltered network. You can connect any guests to the safe network and set them up as a profile, like one of your kids, or you can connect them directly to your modem, as you can your parent device. So you do have some choices there.
Excellent, thank you. And this is one that's my question. What if you have a Wi-Fi extender? I just got a Wi-Fi extender, so how will that affect me, Nic?
Yep. If you've got a Wi-Fi extender, it will currently be plugged directly into your modem. But what we're going to do in this instance is remove that from your modem, plug in your Family Zone box directly into the modem, and then you would plug your Wi-Fi extender into your Family Zone box. So we're putting it in between your modem and your Wi-Fi extender.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Nic. I'll do that when I get home. And I've just seen, we were only going to take three, but I'll take one more. I've just seen another one pop up, and this person is asking, what should they see if an internet site is blocked? They're saying they think that a website is being blocked, but they're not seeing anything written. Is this
Great,
okay?
yeah. Yes. So there are two things that will happen potentially if a website is blocked. If you get a message from Family Zone to say that it has been blocked, it's probably blocking one of the categories that you've set up to be blocked for your child. The other thing that happens is you might just get the screen sort of just sitting there, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
That too means that Family Zone is doing its job. The site is either blocked or it might be available during the playtime mode, but not the study mode. So it's kind of just sitting there waiting, not doing anything.
Yeah. Sometimes it looks like the page is still loading,
Yes,
but that is Family Zone doing its job. So that's
correct.
fantastic. That's what we
Yep,
want. We want the internet to be filtered and inappropriate pages to be blocked from our children's access.
correct.
All right, well, I think that will have to do for now. Like I said, if you have any other further questions, by all means, put them in the questions box there on your screen, and someone from our friendly support team will get back to you. But you should see on your screen now some resources and help. The first one at the very top is our YouTube channel. This webinar will be available on that YouTube channel. So if you do want to watch me and Nick all over again, by all means, head to the YouTube channel and you can. And there's lots of other recordings on there as well, really helpful webinars to get you started or to do different things within Family Zone. We also have our events calendar, so definitely check that out to see any other webinars coming up. We often have our guest cyber experts like Nick today join us for special webinars, so check that out. And I mentioned today our Family Zone blog. That is a great way to stay on top of all the trends and themes within cyber safety. I know that Nick did a blog for us the other week about topics that we spoke about tonight around gaming and managing screen time and things like that. So definitely check that out. And of course, if you need help, we have a great support team. You can contact us via our website or our live support chat. And don't forget, for attending tonight, you can get that 10% off. Head to Nick's discount page and you'll be able to get that discount. But that is all for tonight. So I just want to thank you again, Nick, for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us and stepping us through the basics of getting started with the Family Zone box.
Thank you, Jess. It was fun.
It was great, wasn't it? Thank you so much for helping us all create our cyber safe home. So thanks very much, and we'll see you all next time at the next webinar. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.